the first card you have for your past is the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm seeing a few different things here. Obviously, this is money that I'm seeing here. And I am getting this feeling of being completely on your own, feeling as if you're on your own. You know, it's almost like you felt that you had to be responsible for something and you're completely on your own with this. Obviously, I'm seeing financial responsibility here. So I think you were doing a lot of working a lot to pay for something. And, you know, I'm just getting this feeling that, you know, you're just feeling really, really on edge about this, really stressed about this. I don't know if you had enough left for yourself, because, you know, this man's obviously, he's all by himself and he's looking over at the results of his work on this bush. There are all these coins and everything. And, you know, he's a farmer, so he works really, really hard, physically hard. And he's looking at the coins next to him. There's only one in front of him. You can probably just see it. It's a little coin just in front of him. So it's like, look at all these coins next to me. Look at everything next to me. You know, I've just got one in front of me. So, yeah, you just felt as if you didn't have a lot left for yourself because you had this big responsibility you had to pay for. That's what I'm seeing. And I think someone else should have been sharing this with you, but they weren't doing that for some reason. I think someone else should have been stepping up, but they weren't. That's the feeling I'm getting here. And, you know, maybe it was that something was in your name and this person was getting away with not paying for something because it wasn't in their name. Might have been that. I think there is a way out of this. If you're still in this, this is a way out of this if this is resonating. You know, I think you might have to go through someone else, maybe some kind of advisor, maybe a legal advisor, even if you have to go that far, financial advisor, something like that. There's a way out. There's a way to get that money back that's owed to you. You know, this man's leaning on a rake. So, you know, this is telling me that if you work hard, if you work to try and find out who can help you, they're going to help you to be able to rake that money in back to yourself or the resources or whatever this is. And yet some of this money is definitely going to places where it shouldn't be going. And more of it definitely should be going to you. That's what I'm seeing all the way through this card when I look at this. So, yeah, you can definitely get out of this. You just have to find the right knowledge or the right information, the right advisor, the right person to help you. There is someone who could help you. You just need to make the effort to go and get that sorted out. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have your past, the Ace of Swords. Why am I saying the 8? Because it sounds like ace. Okay, so, oh, there's also 8 of Pentacles. Maybe that's why. I don't know. So, yeah, the Ace of Swords is all about getting clarity, cutting through things, cutting through rubbish, things that aren't serving you, finding a clear way. It's like cutting through a big bush and then clearing it out so you can walk through. So again, this is about this money situation, I think. You know, this card can be about words, writing, things like that, papers. So, you know, the hand is mightier than the sword, or the pen is mightier than the sword, or that Shakespeare quote. So, yeah, signatures. That's what I'm seeing on here. Signatures, names, papers, documents, that kind of thing. So this is something that might have been signed officially by someone else or you. Someone's name is on something and you're left holding this and paying for this when you shouldn't be. That's what I'm seeing. So, okay, I'm just seeing this. Might not be, might be. This is what I'm seeing. This might have something to do with an axe, because there are two sides here, two sides to the sword, and, you know, some kind of disagreement around this as well. So again, you can get to this place of clarity around this, but you're going to have to find some kind of help, professional help, something like that. Put the research in, find out what needs to be done, and you can definitely get yourself out of this. That's what I'm seeing. There is a way. Please don't just give up and resign yourself to paying this thing. I'm also seeing something you might have abandoned. And this is a career thing as well. This is about career or something. It was fun. It was something that you thought might be a career for you at one time, but it was something you really loved, really enjoyed. You're really, really good at whatever this was as well. And you dropped this, you put it aside. Maybe it was because you had these other responsibilities that I'm seeing here. Might be that. Or you might have just dropped that and given up or something. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I'm seeing voices, talking, language, singing maybe, it could be writing as well. It's something about expressing your voice in some way. Now, you used to do this, and it might be on YouTube, I don't know. You used to do whatever this was. You loved doing whatever this was at one time. I think you had hope at some time that this had become a full career, full-time job for you, that, you know, this would take off or something. And you had to drop this for some reason. I think this card's here to remind you, to encourage you to think about doing this again, go back to this again, because I think when you did this before, I think your confidence was a little bit up and down. So, and your lack of confidence caused you to be a little bit inconsistent with this. So you didn't keep to this day after day after day. Any kind of work, whether it's writing, art, anything creative, absolutely anything at all, you have to be consistent. You have to work day after day after day. Otherwise, it will not work. You can't be up and down with something. Sorry, I don't mean to tell you off about this, but I think your confidence kind of made you lack that consistency. That's what I'm seeing. So definitely pick this up again. You absolutely can do that. There's some recognition around this as well. If you're consistent, if you do this, get a regular schedule, keep on going. You know, this is what it's telling me. You can reach the top of this. Look at this crown. Look at this crown. That's where you can get to if you pick this up again and work consistently on this. No matter how you feel, no matter how your confidence is, no matter what anyone says to you, I don't think you had a lot of support at the time as well when you were doing this last time. Forget that. Forget support, forget people, forget everything, forget your feelings if you can. I know it's hard to do. You've got to put them all aside and just work day after day on this. And after a while, you will get to this crown. That's what I'm seeing in that card. The last card you have, your past, is death. So, okay, I don't want to make this into a work money reading, but this is how it's turning out so far. You know, the death card can also be about clearing away the old things, old problems, old situations, so that you can make way for the new things. And the death card's final. So if this financial responsibility is something to do with an ex, and there's still a shadow of them over you that might be causing this whole thing and kind of letting you kind of sit there and not doing anything about this, I think removing this financial burden is going to help you get over them properly and move past any feelings that are left over that you have of them. Because I am seeing some kind of shadow of an ex around you. That's what I'm seeing around this. And you have to kind of get rid of that and remove that for good. That's what this death card's telling you, I think. You know, some financial things are your responsibility, I think, but there are some that aren't. And you've got to get rid of those things. So if this does have something to do with an ex, I think exploring this, working through this, getting yourself out of this money situation, I think it might start to bring up some old emotions for you. And that could be one of the reasons why you're not doing or you haven't done anything about this so far. Maybe. Sometimes these kinds of things drag up these old things. And you might have been thinking, oh, I just don't want to go there. I just don't want to think about all this. So, but don't let that stop you. I think it's going to be worth it all in the end. If you do start feeling all these feelings again, you know, I'm not telling you won't, you might, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it because once you've done this, it's going to be all over with. And that's what the death card is about. Enough, over, the end. So please, please do this. So the first card you have your present is the 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, I know I said this wasn't going to be a work reading, but here's the work card. But anyway, I'm not seeing work in this card. I'm actually seeing someone who is thinking about you, and I think they're still thinking about you right now, this person. Now, I think this might be an ex. I don't think this is the same ex I was seeing in this Death card and all of this Ace of Swords. I think this is a completely different person. I think this is someone from a bit further back than this other person. So someone that you haven't seen for a long, long, long time. Now, they're thinking about you. This is what I'm seeing. This person's thinking about you. They're reliving old memories over and over and over again. You know, if you've ever heard that expression, it's a very old expression about a broken record. You know, those old big, I don't know, great big black record, you know, those old records they used to have, and CDs they used to have going around. And, you know, they used to have, if there was a broken record and I don't know how, if it broke or something, the same little thing would repeat over and over again, like the same little bit in the song, or, you know. And so that's what's happening here. Because if you look at these pentacles, they're kind of round like that, and that just made me think of that. And so it's like a broken record in the head. It's going round and around and around, and they're thinking of you. I think they're thinking about, you know, I don't know if you travelled with this person, or maybe they travelled to see you or something like that. I'm seeing some travelling, some memorable time around travel you spent together. It might not have been that you travelled somewhere. It might have been they came to see you or you came to see them or something. There was some kind of change of scene for one of you, maybe for both of you. And I think also they helped you in some way at this time, in a really nice, kind way. And I think they're reliving all of that time. Yeah, and also this card's about repetition sometimes anyway. So they're repeating these old memories inside their head over and over and over again. That's happening right now, I think, right now. They're trying to stop thinking about this, actually. They're trying hard to stop thinking about these memories and you and everything. I think they're throwing themselves into their work, throwing themselves into working on themselves and everything else in their life. Yeah, again, this person is not connected to this money situation, even though this is a money card. This is a completely different person. And yeah, again, there's a lot of time between now and when you last saw this person. So there are these older memories that they're thinking of, and they're thinking about you, and they're thinking, oh, I remember that time. Remember they said this. So all of that's going in their head. So it's like they want to stop thinking about you. They really do. They're trying to, but they can't right now anyway. They can't do that. So the next card you have, your present, is the Queen of Wands. Okay, so I think this is sort of echoing what I was seeing in the Ace of Swords. This thing about, you know, picking up this thing you really enjoyed doing, and you know, picking that up again and starting that again. You know, this Queen of Wands, she's a real kind of a go-getter. You know, she's organised, she's optimistic with this beautiful sunflower she's holding, and you know, she's naturally the centre of attention. Not because of the way she looks. I mean, she's beautiful in her own way, of course, but the Queen of Cups is more like the classic beautiful queen. And she's more about, you know, the Queen of Wands is more about her abilities and her vibrant nature, and I can do this, I can go ahead and do this. And she kind of inspires a lot of people around her. She's very independent, and she's happy to be in the spotlight. She doesn't mind being in the spotlight. So I think if you pursue this thing, I think it'll probably mean that you'll be under some kind of spotlight. You'll have a lot of attention around you. And maybe the thought of being in the spotlight's partly exciting to you, and maybe it's partly scary to you. There are two sides to this. Because I'm just looking at this Ace of Swords again, and you know, obviously there are two sides of this sword. But, you know, if you could rectify this internal imbalance, this, oh, I'm scared one minute, and oh, I'm excited the next minute, and oh, I want to give up, you know, and all this kind of mixed feeling. If you can get through all of those feelings and kind of find some more balance in that, like this sword is balanced, you know, then you'll be at peace with this attention, and you won't mind that. You'll be much more at ease around that, and then you'll be able to wear that crown. So, you know, don't let your feelings and your worries and all of this about what might happen down the road get in the way of you doing this, you know, because sometimes people think, you know, when they have this success in front of them, they can see a possibility of it. They're kind of like, oh, if I become well known, or if I do really well, you know, people might resent me, and I'll have to change my whole life, and it's going to be difficult, and I don't want to change myself. I want to be who I am. And, you know, sometimes you can look a bit too far ahead, and you can be a bit like that sometimes. So, you know, firstly, if this is all resonating with you, the things you're worrying about might not even happen at all. And if they do, they're good problems to have. And they're also problems for later. They're problems for later on. So don't let these kind of problems that haven't even come up yet, and they might not at all, stop you from starting. Don't ever do that. You know, just start, just do something, push this forward. You know, you have a choice to make here. You know, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? And you know what I think about that. But if you look at this queen again, if you look at the landscape behind her, on the one side, there are these golden pyramids that are beautiful, and they're all pointing upwards like arrows, like ascend, go upwards. And on the other side, there's a sort of a dull grey footpath looking thing, which looks very boring and pedestrian, you know. So, you know, this is the choice you have to make. Which choice will you make? I know which one you should make. You don't want to get, you know, further into the future. You don't want to be like a year from now, 2 years, and look back and say, you know, I should have done this. I really wish I had those problems that I was worrying about, you know, but I don't, because I didn't even start. So don't be that person. Don't be that person if this is resonating with you. So the last card you have for your present is Judgment. Yeah, I'm seeing a few things in this. So one of them is really clear to start with. This is about you coming out of your box, like the people on this card. I'll just move it up so you can see. Look at them in their boxes. So come out of your box. Come out of your box. Pursue this thing. Do this thing. So this is what this is saying again. The other thing I'm seeing in this is that, okay, so I'm seeing this person in the Eight of Pentacles again, this person that was thinking about you. I think they're going through a really big time in their lives. I think they're going through a lot of changes in their lives. I think they're remembering a lot of old things. They're looking back over a lot of different things in their lives. And maybe that's why this has come up so, you know, in a really big way for them, this remembering these memories and things. You know, they're looking back over their life. They're looking back over the things they've done. You're a huge part of their memories, a huge part of their thoughts, and you're huge in their heart as well. And what I'm seeing here is when they were with you, this is how they feel. I don't know if this is how you think, how you see this, but this is how they do. They feel as if they couldn't give you all of them at the time. There was some other big main thing in their life that was in the way of them getting as close to you as they think they should have been. So I don't know if they had some kind of addiction problem that's coming up just in my head. Might be that, because sometimes that can get in the way of absolutely everything. You know, it doesn't have to be a drug or alcohol addiction. It can be any kind of addiction, you know, shopping, people, anything. So whatever this was, it was taking the place of you. That's how they felt, and they really, really, really regret that. They really regret this, whatever this was, taking up their headspace, their time, and everything else. That is their absolute biggest regret. That's what I'm seeing here. They lost a lot of time to whatever this was. But this is the Judgment card. So this is all about working through these things and coming to peace around these things. So they are going to come to peace around this eventually. I don't know how they're going to do that. In this card, I often see people coming back and apologizing. But I'm not seeing that really clearly here. It is a possibility. It is a possibility, but I'm not seeing that all that clearly. I have to be 100% honest with you. It's definitely a possibility though. That's what I'm seeing, but I can't tell you 100% whether it is or not. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have for your future is the Five of Wands. Yeah, I think I've seen this in your readings before. There's a lot of, there's a lot of stress around your workplace, I think. And I think you are probably looking at other things, other jobs, opportunities, things like that. Definitely keep on doing that. I am seeing some kind of fallout around your workplace. You know, changes in the structure maybe of this company or whatever this is. And I think people are going to find themselves sort of jostling for position, a bit like what's happening in this card. I think you'll come out of this feeling okay. I don't think you'll have any great big dramas. There is some kind of phasing out here. Something's becoming obsolete, I think. Maybe, you know, it might be the product this company's making, or maybe there's a service that no one needs anymore. So I think eventually this will probably end up either being a lot smaller if it's a company, or it might even close. So keep on looking out for other opportunities if this resonates. And, you know, please pursue this other thing. This has huge potential. And, you know, you'll be so much happier if you do this, way happier in yourself. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have in future is the Queen of Cups. Okay, this is probably going to sound a bit strange to you, but I'll just tell you what I'm seeing. I think you can probably feel and sense this person's energy around you, this person who's thinking about you. I think you know who they are. I think you know that they are thinking about you. I think you're feeling this very, 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 very strongly, very strongly. And I think, to me, that's an indication that you are probably going to see this person again. I think you can feel their energy around you. I think you really can. So if they do come back to try and apologise to you, which is what I was seeing might happen in the Judgment card, I think it'll probably take a long time for you to be able to open up to this person and talk to them properly. It's not going to be easy for you. That's what I'm seeing. You know, this Queen's holding her emotions inside this cup. And, you know, there's a lid on the cup as well. So, excuse me, sorry about that. So, I don't even know, excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't even know if you will talk to them. You might not want to do that. I'd love to be able to tell you exactly what's going to happen, but there are a lot of variables around this. One thing I know is, if they do come to you with an apology or just wanting to talk, they'll definitely be very different this time. They're not going to be like this person in the Judgment card. They had this addiction or whatever this was, I think. But they're not like that now. They're very, very, very different. So keep that in mind if you're afraid of talking to them. That's what I'm seeing. So, sorry about that cough. The last card you have for your future is Temperance. So, yeah, what I'm seeing here is you're both going to be going through a lot of changes. I think you've both started these changes already. I think you'll both be totally different people when you connect again. Yeah, I'm saying when you connect again, because I think you probably will connect. I'm just not sure what you're going to decide to do with this, because I can see this isn't going to be very easy for you. There's a lot of emotion, old emotions that are going to come up. And what I'm getting is, by the time they come to you, they'll probably have worked through everything in their mind, and they'll be a much more stable person in a much more stable position as well. But you'll still be a work in progress. So maybe the timing is what's going to feel a little bit wrong. Something's not going to be quite right timing wise. That's what I'm seeing. It's like, I'm ready, and then you're going to be, well, I'm not. So it's that kind of thing. There's a lot of unsurety in this. I'm really feeling that as well. And that's why I can't really say what the outcome is. What I can say is they'll have worked through a lot of things when they come to you. The timing might not quite be right yet. And so because of that, you're going to be feeling a little bit unsure about all of this. And I think they'll probably be giving you a lot of space after that, because you'll probably need some space to work out what you want to do. And then after that, you'll have a decision to make around this. You'll have to balance everything up. You know, this card can be about balance, finding harmony. So, you know, whatever happens around this, take your time with this choice. I'm not seeing them pressuring you or anything like that. But I think sometimes you can put pressure on yourself. So try not to do that. You know, take your time. There's no rush with this. So Sagittarius, I hope this resonated. I hope that made sense to you. I'm sorry about my cough. I don't know where that came from. As you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But yeah, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to. And thank you so much for watching.